Assalamualaikum and everyone. Welcome to our discussion. I am Siti Solihah and I will be your moderator for today. Today, we are gathering to deeply discuss about the influence of social media on students. Before we start, I would like to introduce our special panels. Our first panel is Miss Hanani. How are you today, Miss?
Thank you to our moderator. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Thank you.
That's great, thank you. Next, our second panel is Mr. Amirul. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm happy to hear that. And our last panel, Mr. Shahmi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great, thank you. Without further ado, I would like to share a short information about social media. Social media refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share and exchange information in virtual communities and networks. Without wasting any time, I would like to discuss the topic deeper with our beloved panels. So, I will continue with the advantages of social media on students. I invite Ms. Hanani, our first panel, to convey her ideas.
Thank you to our moderator, Ms. Solihah. As we know, during the COVID-19 pandemic, we can see that social media has brought a lot of advantages and disadvantages towards students. In my opinion, social media can be a tool of receiving information. Nowadays, a student can barely survive without social media. This is because when a student wants to do their assignment, they will refer to Google to find some information, such as an article or a journal that related to their task. According to last 2010, the positive of online communities is that youth can utilize them for academic assistance and support. It is due to the ability of social media to enhance connections by making them easily accessible. Social media can yield many benefits for the young, including providing a virtual space for them to explore their interests or problems with similar individuals, academic support while strengthening online communication skills and knowledge. Other than that, we all know that social media is a platform where people from all over the world can connect and interact with each other. Because of that, social media is very important to students as it helps them communicate with one another without requiring physical contact or connection. This is what we refer to as networking, and it is essential because it often helps students to discover opportunities while in university, and not to mention where such connection may lead them. And not to mention where such connection may lead the students outside the university. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hanani, for your ideas. What is your opinion, Mr. Amirul?
I think that's great. In this era of globalization, effective communication is very important in students' life. This is because they have to interact with their teachers and family members. So, social media is a platform that can realize this because with a social media, they can communicate with each other even if they are far away. It is clear here that they can exchange useful information with each other through these platforms such as website, Facebook, and Instagram. Next, this media social can improve our reading and communication skills. As we know, most students easily feel bored when reading. So, with the existence of this social media, they can find reading materials that attract their attention, especially if these pieces of information include eye-catching animations. This makes many students gain knowledge because social media can increase their motivation to reading the text. This is according from Manila Wilbur 2019. Okay, that's all from me.
That was such a thoughtful explanation, Mr. Amirul. Mr. Shami, what do you think about this issue?
I think social media can provide students with various benefits as long as they use it responsibly and with clear intention to achieve educational goals. For me, The advantage of social media for students, which is they can expand network and career opportunities. Social media allows students to connect with professionals in their field of study. This provides them with opportunity to establish a network that can aid in the future career opportunities, which is they didn't need to wait until they graduate to show what they can do to others. So social media is one of the platform that can use. Also, students can promote their work and skill, make their profile attractive to recruiters, and showcase their achievement, which can provide them with several career opportunities. Thank you.
Good explanation. Miss Hanani, don't you think that social media gives negative impacts too on students? What is your opinion?
Thank you, Ms. Soleha, our moderator. I do think that social media has brought a lot of disadvantages towards students. I have read an article. According to Jacobson and Forsted 2011, they said our findings indicate that electronic media use is negatively associated with grades. This is because they found that about 2/3 of the students reported using electronic media while in class, studying, or doing homework, such as ChatGPT. Nowadays, ChatGPT is an application that's popular among the students. Usually, students will use ChatGPT to help them find information that related to their assignments. And it is true that by using ChatGPT, it becomes easier, especially for the students to do their work. But this will cause a lot of plagiarism issues among the students. Hence, this will lead the students to get lower grades in their studies. That's all from me. Thank you.
That's really convincing. Mr. Amiro, do you agree with her or do you have any personal opinion about this?
Yes, I really agree with her. As we know, everything we use in our life certainly has its good and bad. For example, when we eat too many vegetables, it can also cause poisoning to us. This is said to be so because social media also has a more or less concept with this matter. Back to our main topic, the disadvantage of social media for students is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is the biggest weakness in the use of social media. This is said to be so because the reason for this aspect is that social media became a pretty trendy thing to use without any cyber literacy or cyber laws. So, it became effortless to manipulate someone's privacy. This obviously will put pressure on the victim that can cause the victim to think about committing suicide. This according Yanni 2022. Next, social media also can affect our health because when they are too indulgent with social media, they will sleep late at night and causing pain to the body because lack of sleep will have a negative effect on our muscle. This this matter will affect their academic value because they study in the condition of body not well. This according Yanni 2022. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amiro. I will move to our last panel. Mr. Shahmi, what is your opinion about disadvantages of social media on students?
For me, the disadvantage of social media for students, which is it can cause a distraction and reduce productivity. Social media can act as a major distraction for students, leading to reduced productivity and difficulty focusing on academic tasks. We all know that now we have a lot of platform which is social media as TikTok and so on. So students waste their time by scrolling through feeds, making some content and engaging in online conversation that can interfere with their ability to concentrate and complete such some assignment. Thank you.
Good ideas. Ms. Hanani, what can you conclude from the topic that we have been discussed about?
What can I conclude about this topic is Social media can bring a lot of advantages and disadvantages towards the students, but it depends on the student itself on how they utilize social media during their daily life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hanani. Finally, we have come to the end of the discussion. I would like to say thanks to the panel for the impressive ideas. Hopefully, the discussion will be beneficial for everyone. I will end it here. Goodbye and Assalamualaikum.